However, policy makers and societal critics would have you think I am unhealthy. Not a rapper, they do it by controlling how we measure obesity, by exaggerating funding needs, and by pinning a negative stigma on us. The biggest weapon that these fatty fraidicates have at their disposal is math. That's right, just a simple equation is the difference between being fat and being healthy. It's called the BMI, body mass index. Put simply, it's your weight divided by your height. So for myself, with a height of 6 feet 1 inch and a weight of 320 pounds, I can finally fulfill my dream of playing the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in Ghostbusters 3. It also means I have a BMI of 42.2, which results as insanely morbidly obese, or what my doctor refers to as, you are one fat bastard, fuck. This is the only system used to define who is obese. Anyone with a BMI of 25 or more is overweight and anyone with 30 or more is obese. Plus, the CDC even tells you the system is flawed, because someone with a larger muscle mass can have the same BMI as a person who has a lot of body fat. I don't know about you, but I don't want to tell Don't Culpepper, who's 6 feet 4 inches 260 pounds, that he's obese. I'd tell him he's a crappy quarterback though. But the BMI is just a clever way for researchers to plump up their expense accounts. When given the chance at more money, researchers are all over that, like me on a cupcake. The American Obesity Association website, at www.festivaliplumbed.org, reports obesity has an annual healthcare price tag of over $100 billion, causing the National Institutes of Health to increase their research budget for obesity to $440 million for 2005. J. Eric Oliver, a political scientist at the University of Chicago, stresses, a relatively small group of scientists and doctors, many directly funded by the weight loss industry, have inflated claims and distorted statistics on the consequences of our growing weights. The war on fat is really about making some of us rich. Like that bitch, Jenny Craig. Don't think she isn't laughing her skinny ass all the way to the bank. Society also hasn't been much help to the plight of the portly, forcing a negative stereotype on the overweight. A 2005 article from the Online Journal of Issues in Nursing expresses concern because those who are overweight experience increased psychological stress, reduced income, and discrimination even among the majority of healthcare professionals, seriously hindering any type of treatment. But what do nurses know? All they do is clean bedpans and poke people with needles. That's the fourth leading cause of pinholes in arms. After examining the competing medical theories and how society is capitalizing on our fears of being fat, we must finally consider what we can learn from this war over obesity, which is just another in the long line of wars our government starts against things you can't actually attack, like last year's war on terrorism or the upcoming war on rainbows. Initially, everyone, fat or toothpick-like, can take a page out of Dr. John Robinson's paper, Health at Every Size. Robinson says people naturally have different body types and different preferences for physical activity. You can be fat and fit at the same time by settling into a comfortable weight for your lifestyle, by staying positive and enjoying moderate physical activity. Try carrying the tubs for your lazy extempers. What's that? You need something. I'll be there in half an hour. Jerks. Stephen Blair, an obesity researcher heading the Cooper Institute, reports that just 2.5 hours of walking a week can decrease your risk of diabetes by almost 70%. Next, it is also important to note two positive aspects of being overweight. No, not more cushion for the cushion in your own portable table. A 2003 cancer study of 900,000 overweight adults showed a considerable defense against lung disease, even after the effects of smoking, and Edward Gregg, a CDC researcher, notes that currently obese adults have a reduced risk of heart disease over what normal weight people did 20 to 30 years ago. We need to change the way we think about extra poundage, because we may be making a disease out of obesity just by labeling it as one. With the majority of Americans overweight, it's time for us to push past this stigma. Once people realize they don't have to lose 100 pounds to be healthy, they can get over the fear of failure and focus on how to make themselves feel good. You know, all my life I've had to live with obesity and how it affected me. I'm tired of the looks I get from people, I'm tired of the name calling, I'm tired of trying to conform to the perfect picture of health, and I'm tired of walking upstairs. But, after looking at the two types of obesity thinking, examining the skewed logic and reasoning behind the war on obesity, and learning some lessons from this debate, I now realize that those stairs are more important to my health than my tummy. So, I may not actually die from being fat, but now I know exactly what it means to be the big man on campus, and I'm okay with it. Just remember, being fat doesn't make you the biggest loser. Being a fornicator does.